Okay, it's time now for Media Watch, and for that we're joined by Emma James. And Emma, you've been looking at the latest reactions online to these latest appointments made by Donald Trump.
Yes, and fairly unsurprisingly, with everything that Donald Trump does, it is proving to be very controversial. And as this administration starts to take shape, people are voicing their concerns, and not just in the United States. This cartoon by a Canadian cartoonist, Michael DeAda, from the Hill Times Global, features Donald Trump as one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse there, and you can see Barack Obama strolling past saying the Trump transition team is here. There are many people very concerned about the kind of people that are being put alongside in these very powerful positions, alongside the president-to-be of the United States. David Axelrod among them. He used to be a strategist for Barack Obama. He says Donald Trump is sticking with those who brought him to the dance, but to many Americans it will seem a monster's ball. He went on to say that the appointment of General Flynn at the National Security Council may cheer the Russian President Putin and the Turkish President Erdogan, but adds a volcanic mix to the national security stew. And it's not just him commenting. Obviously, there are many others besides on Twitter and other social media platforms. Bannon, Flynn, Pompeo, I guess now when ISIS says America is at war with Islam, we will have no choice but to shrug and agree. Now, one of the figures that is getting the most publicity is Michael Flynn, a retired Army Lieutenant General, now to be the National Security Advisor to Donald Trump. This article states that he shares conspiracy theories, expletive-filled posts, and racially insensitive sentiments on Twitter and Facebook. Does it sound familiar? He also tweeted that fear of Muslims is rational. According to Vox, he was being considered for the post of Defense Secretary, which is even more important. But they think that this job was chosen for him because it circumnavigated the need for there to be congressional approval of him, which he may well not have got. A lot of other people are choosing to focus on Jeff Sessions, who will be the Attorney General under Donald Trump. Ana Navarro, a very vocal critic of Donald Trump from within the Republican Party itself, says that he was considered too racist to be a judge in the 80s, but she says, best to go back to sleep, America. I'll wake you up when it's over. Another Twitter user, very angry at his appointment, says he was too racist to be confirmed by the Republicans in 1985, but he's fine as Attorney General now that we're back in 1955. So a lot of people really feeling that the US is taking a step backwards with these appointments. The Huffington Post is reporting on this one too. They detail the allegations that actually stopped this man from becoming a federal judge. It includes calling a black attorney boy, suggesting a white lawyer who represented a black client as a traitor to his race. And he joked that his only issue with the Ku Klux Klan was that they used drugs. Now, when we're on the subject of the Ku Klux Klan, the former imperial wizard David Duke, no less, white nationalist, Holocaust denier, call him what you will, he is thrilled with these appointments. He says, great, Senate must demand that Sessions, as Attorney General, stop the massive institutional race discrimination against whites. But it's not just these high-profile extremists, if you like. This is a Trump supporter, deplorable vet. My country is back on the path to sanity, strength and respect around the world. I am overjoyed. Great days ahead.
Pretty strong stuff there, Emma. And for those of you wanting to find out what the outgoing US president makes of this extraordinary election, the New Yorker has been given access to the Oval Office. Tell us more, Emma.
Yes, well, for anyone wanting to hang on to every last word from the current President Barack Obama, this is definitely an article for you. Not the most stunning of revelations, they're not really startling things, but it is a real insight into his very human reactions in the run-up to that election and a real political earthquake. It details how Obama dealt with White House staff after the election result, and many of them were very distressed. And he told them that this is not the apocalypse. He said, history does not move in straight lines. Sometimes it goes sideways. Sometimes it goes backwards. When he was asked if he could imagine Trump giving the State of the Union address, he said, well, I can imagine it as a Saturday night comedy sketch. One other interesting line in this piece was about Trump's path to the Republican nomination. Donald Trump beating 15 people, he said less about his skills and more about the lack of skills of the people he beat. So very unguarded responses there from the current president. After reading this article, one Twitter user, I think, summed up what a lot of people are feeling right now. I feel like a kid whose most beloved teacher is about to be replaced with Freddy Krueger.
Well, Emma, here in France, we're building up to our own presidential election next May, and the current president, François Hollande, has been given something of a Bollywood makeover.
Yes, this is a particularly curious one, it has to be said. We have had, of course, the leadership of the right battling it out in the primary debates ahead of the first primary vote this weekend. But the fight for the left really hasn't even got underway yet. We still don't know whether François Hollande will be standing. He's keeping quiet. He's not got great ratings at the moment, as we know, historically low, in fact. But one viral video is showing how François Hollande is ready to take on anyone to keep his hands on the reins of power. He's doing it Bollywood style with a little bit of help from Emmanuel Macron and Manuel Valls. Let's take a look.
Hey, बाजीराव, बहुत टेंशन में लग रहा है. पिएगा क्या? चिल्ड है. आजा.
अंकल, आप जाओगे तो ये लोग मम्मी को भी मार देंगे.
मेरी जरूरत है मैं.
So really rather improbable stuff there, but people seem to like it. It's been viewed more than 500,000 times on one Facebook page that I've seen alone. So it is proving very popular. I think people just want a more light-hearted look at politics right now.
Indeed. Emma James, thank you very much.